Lead off with Rick Stroud.
Tom, playoff wins are precious, as you know. I'm just curious what you thought of the effort you got from guys like Leonard Fournette and Mike Evans today.
Yeah, they both played great. We needed them to play great, and they made a bunch of big plays when we needed to. And it was a tough, hard-nosed game. Washington had a lot of fight in them. We had opportunities to pull away and just couldn't quite do it. Didn't score enough points in the red area. So certainly a lot to improve on, but great to get a win and figure out who we're playing tomorrow and go from there.
All right, we'll go over to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Tom, this was a tough pass rush, and I think a lot of people expected you guys to kind of maybe dink and dunk your way down the field in this game, but you guys dropped back. You hit a lot of deep shots. I'm just curious as to kind of what went in that, and also, what was that conversation with Chase Young like at the end of the game? It looks like you guys talked there for a few minutes.
Yeah, we hit some big plays, made some chunks. I think just not scoring enough in red area probably is the thing that bothers us. Missed a 2-point play, had other opportunities to score and just didn't quite take advantage. So moved the ball okay. I think we had decent yardage, but at the end of the day, it comes down to points, and we got to do a better job scoring more points, and work on that next week.
We'll go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, you did take a couple sacks, but given all the talk all week about Washington's defensive line, what can you say about your offensive line, especially your tackles, protecting you as they did today?
They did a great job. Those guys played their butts off. And Tristan did a great job. Donnie played a hell of a game. It's a great front. Just a big, aggressive defense. And they played well. They played hard. And, it was a good test for us.
Go over to Scott Reynolds.
Tom, congrats on the win tonight. You've been around some great kickers in your time. Ryan Suckup, I know you want to see him have more extra points than field goals, but just speak to how clutch he was tonight and how important he's been to your season.
Yeah, it was great. And he made some huge kicks. We needed it. And playoff games and making those ones in the fourth quarter. And Ryan's done a hell of a job all year for us. So it was great to see, and gonna have to make more of them down the stretch here.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
We'll go over to Ira Kaufman.
What have you learned over this season about the toughness, the competitive drive of Mike Evans, Tom?
Mike played his butt off. He got hurt last week. We weren't sure whether he was going to go or not, and just did an incredible job fighting through it, and made a bunch of big plays when we needed it.
All right, our last one will be from John Romano.
Hey, Tom. Even after victories, you're often critical of yourself and the offense during the regular season. Do you feel the same way in the postseason, or do you look at it as survival is the only thing that matters?
Well, I mean, if you could win 100-0, and it's going to be the same result in the end. So, you'd love to play great every game. I think it's good to win and advance. And, if we don't play well next week, we're not gonna be happy. So glad we won. Glad we got another week of work, and we're gonna go in there and try to do a much better job this week, and get ready for whoever our opponent is. It's gonna be a good one, and we're gonna have to go play great football. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
It was the way he played.
Yeah, I mean, he was very elusive. We knew he was going to scramble around. There was going to be bootlegs and scrambles, and we really we're really hoping for Alex, because we knew that part of the game wasn't going to be in there. And, he got out of some really good spots, and he made some really good plays. He had a lot of poise.
And what happened? You lost Ronald Jones, and can you talk about how Leonard Fournette came in and played?
Yeah, Leonard played great. Probably the best he played all year. Knew it was going to be a big game. We only had two backs. I hated Keyshawn fumble because he was playing good, but couldn't say enough about Leonard and how he stepped up.
Thanks.
We'll go over to Greg Allman.
Bruce, for your defense, this was another one of those games where things were tight at the end, but they made the stop. You get that last drive, Levante gets the sack. What does it mean to see Levante get a sack to kind of close out the last defensive stop in his first playoff game?
Yeah, it was great because we were tackling him worth of shit the whole game. And we finally got him when it mattered. And, I don't think it was best our defense has played in a long – I mean, it was terrible up until the last 8 minutes.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, we'll go over to Ira Kaufman.
Bruce, when's the last time you pulled so hard for the Chicago Bears to win a football game tomorrow? Does it matter to you?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're playing. That's all that matters. And where we go, I mean, we're a better football team than the last time we played the Saints. If we go there, so no, it doesn't matter to me, Ira.
Well, Bruce, you'd get a chance to maybe have a home game.
Now that part I'll root for. I will root for that, brother.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, we'll go over to Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Bruce, congrats on the win tonight. Can you just speak to the performance that Mike Evans had? 6 catches, 119 yards, several big completions for you that kept the chains moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge night for him. And, we always say how tough he is, man. He was probably 85, 90%, which for Mike, that's great. I mean, he played most of the season at 70. So, yeah, I mean, we had that one go off his fingertips I thought he was going to get. But, no, I can't say enough about him gutting it out and playing great.
And can you speak to kind of an uncharacteristic night with drops for Chris Godwin, but then Cam Brate really was Mr. Steady Eddie for you catching the ball?
Yeah, I mean, anytime the ball goes to Chris, it's automatic. And, well, that one big one start the second half was huge. And but Cam came up huge. I mean, he's had a hell of a year for us. And Byron does a great job of getting him matched up.
Thank you, Bruce.
You bet.
We'll go over to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, can you just speak to your offense's performance against such a talented pass rush? I mean, I think a lot of people thought you guys would go into this game and you'd have to work the short passing game, but your quarterback and your offensive line, you still dropped back and you still took deep shots downfield and you guys hit them. Can you just speak to that?
I think it was the biggest storyline of the week, just because one guy says, I want Tom, all of a sudden they got a great front. And our guys took it to heart. They were going to block them. And, I thought we blocked them really, really well. So, no, they didn't scare us.
How much does it mean to you to, not only get this playoff win, but to be able to bring it home to a city like Tampa that's waited such a long time to be in the postseason? And also, I mean, they haven't had a playoff win since 2002.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I just wish we could play at home, but we can't unless certain things fall. And then I wish the stadium would be packed. But hopefully we'll continue to play better next week than we did this week.
Thank you.
Time for a few more. We'll go over to John Romano.
Hey, Bruce. Playoff victories are hard enough to come by in this league that they should always be celebrated. But was the performance tonight enough to beat a team like New Orleans next week?
Well, we'll see when we play next week. No, this performance defensively wouldn't be. Offensively, it would be. But we'll show up and see. I think some of our guys, I don't think veterans did, but some of our young guys kind of might have relaxed when Alex Smith wasn't playing. And I kind of kept preaching at him. This kid can run. He can do a lot of things. And, he almost beat us with his legs. But I'm never going to apologize for winning, and next week's next week.
All right, we'll go over to Scott Smith.
Bruce, obviously the crowd not a factor in this one, but this is your coldest game of the year. From a temperature standpoint, adjusting to the temps, how do you feel your team did?
Oh, man, I thought it was balmy myself. I thought it was beautiful. The breeze picked up a little, but, man, you couldn't have asked for better weather. So it was no factor whatsoever.
All right, we'll close out with a question from Greg Allman.
Just want to ask you about Alex Kappa. We saw him go out and Larson come in. Just want to ask if you know anything about the severity of the injury, or that he could be back next week.
It looks like a fracture. So hopefully we'll check on another X-ray with a better X-ray machine. But right now it does not look good.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all for today. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.